Hey everybody! I'm here today to show you and tell you how to make a snare drum sound better. This will be a super duper easy peasy drumming tutorial, so let's get right into the video. I'm going to be placing the snare drum down here, and I'm going to angle the camera slightly downwards so you can see what I'm doing and what I am talking about. Now, essentially, if you want to make your snare drum sound better, there are a couple things that you can do. I'm going to let you hear how this one sounds right now. Alright, so essentially, it depends on what you want to accomplish, but these are basically like 5 things that will almost always work and almost always improve the sound. The first thing is you want to tighten down your bottom head, okay? You want to tighten down your resonant head. The bottom head of a snare drum should be super duper tight. I'm just going to hold these down so they don't vibrate as I'm talking because I have such a loud voice. So honestly, if you want to improve the sound of your snare drum, go to your bottom head, your resonant head, just crank these down a quarter of a turn each. Like even if you think it was already tight, just crank them down a quarter of a turn each, and it will probably improve the sound substantially with just something as simple as that, okay? And just see what kind of wonders that does, okay? Much tighter sound, much tighter sound. The next thing that you can do is tune the top head. So essentially your batter head over here, your top head, you can tune it to be a little bit higher pitch, a little bit lower pitch. But what you want to do is make sure that all of the edges sound the same. So you want to go with the drumstick and listen to make sure that they all sound the same. And what you can also do is remove the snare, so you can flip this little lever here. Okay, that just completely removes the snares. So that's a little bit higher than this. So I would go ahead and I would tighten these 3 over here to raise them up just a little bit. This one was quite loose, so I'm going to tighten that quite a bit over there. This one was pretty loose, like I could just tell by the tension, right? So I'm just going to tighten this, the half that's closer to me, and listen to it. Much more consistent sound. Tighten it up again. Much better, much better. And even if you've already tuned your snare drum, you should be doing this regularly to keep it in tune because things loosen up, as you can see. The next thing that you can do, the third thing, is tighten or loosen the actual snares. So you can see right here, these are the snares underneath here, as you can see. There's actually a really cool mechanism in there, as you can tell over here, that sort of dampens the sound of the batter head, which is really, really cool, but I'll go over that in a moment. So the snares can be tightened or loosened. What you want to do is flip this lever over here, okay? And then you can tighten this wheel or loosen this wheel. Kind of up to you, whatever you want. But, you know, and you'll see the actual bands over here, tighten or loosen. So, I mean, you want to go with the sound that you're looking for. So tighten or loosen it up. See how it sounds? Even tighter. I love the tight snare drum sound. Beautiful, okay? The fourth thing that you can do is put a dampener on it. So there's like moon gels that you can put. You can also use duct tape with some paper towel. You can like just duct tape a little square piece of paper towel on here that's folded up. That will dampen it, but this basically has a built-in piece that dampens it, as you can see right there. Yeah, that's another thing you can do. And lastly, number 5 is raise it off of the snare drum stand arms. So you can see these are the snare drum stand arms. Sometimes if it's touching the snare drum stand arms, right, you're gonna get a bad sound. So raise it up. You can tighten these up. Like below, usually you can tighten them up right here, so like I can raise up the arms over here, which will clamp it higher up, which will in essence raise it up off of those arms. It sounds the same because it wasn't touching to begin with, but yours might be touching. You might be asking about this snare drum. This is actually a snare drum. It didn't come with this set. This is a Yamaha Stage custom drum set, and the snare drum is one that I restored. If I remember correctly, just so you know, you might be asking yourself, it's a Ludwig snare drum, I think. Based on the research that I did, it was a 1970 or in the 70s Ludwig snare drum. I got the snare drum for free. Someone was getting rid of it. It was all beat up, but what I did was I polished it up. And I put new heads on it. I added this here because this was gone. I did a couple things, and essentially I made it a really good snare drum. And this is the snare drum that I use with this kit now. And that's it. Many of you might not even know it, but I've been drumming my whole life. I actually, was on the internet for drumming with my other channel. I started on YouTube drumming before I built this channel. So maybe some of you have seen those videos, but they're really old. But yeah, that's essentially it. That is how to make a snare drum sound better. That's an easy drumming tutorial. If you like this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down below as a comment. And of course, be sure to subscribe for more great videos just like this one. And that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching.